In order to take steps towards creating our best bad solution to our wicked problem, failure as a mode of learning, our think tank group created similar surveys to send out to our professional learning networks. After our think tank sent out surveys to our communities of practice, we received over 130 responses from educators. Our group of participants had a diverse makeup. We had responses from new teachers, experienced teachers, and retired educators. About half of the responses came from secondary teachers, and the other half was from elementary teachers. One subgroup of participants that was missing from our survey was special education teachers. Our first question focused on educators' outlooks on failure in the classroom. Although there were a handful of participants that stated they were not at all positive about failure in their classrooms, we noticed that the majority either felt somewhat neutral or positive about failure in their classroom communities. Our next question focused on the opportunity to revise work or retake assessments. The majority favored the answers always and sometimes. This shows that our communities of practice also recognize the opportunity to reflect and relearn a topic they were not initially successful in. This also shows that many of our educators are practicing techniques for their students to recognize the learning opportunities that failure can provide. The next question that stuck out to our think tank when beginning to think about the best bad solution was about teachers having a protocol in place for when a student is not successful. The results are clear that the majority do have a plan, but the 27% of teachers who did not was what really stuck out to our group. We began asking what-if questions that related to creating protocols that fostered the idea of utilizing failure as a learning opportunity. Our think tank survey also focused on how students react to failure. Although the results showed the majority of students react positively to failure, there is still a large portion of students that react negatively. This was another piece of data that caused our think tank group to reflect on possibilities to change the mindsets of students who feel negatively towards failure. We had an overwhelming amount of teachers state that they do believe mindset plays a role in how students view failure. The 2% of teachers that responded no made us think about what other factors could possibly influence perspective on failure. Data shows that most teachers identified student attitude and time to reteach material as the biggest challenges in utilizing failure as a learning mode. This could also play into possible solutions or protocols that were previously touched upon. Last but not least, about 80% of participants believe in failure as a form of learning. The 15% of teachers that responded maybe shows that perhaps we need to share the research that proves how effective a growth mindset can be when facing the challenge of failure as a learning method. Perhaps we also need to share more strategies about how to create an inviting classroom environment that embraces failure, revision, and reteaching.